Tell us more about your backstory and how you went from banking and getting your CFA certification.
I was considering as well consulting, and I was trying to go into big three.
Was there a person, a lesson, or some experience that you had back then that still shows up in how you lead your team today and how you've been able to build DataForest and all the other things that you've done along the way?
Lots of things that are actually stopping. So usually it's about fears, but still you might have some weaknesses, you might have some other things. You need to work it out.
I'd love for you to share with our audience a time in your career, a time it's probably with DataForest, the real growth under pressure moments when you weren't sure how things would turn out. When you were scared for yourself, your family, for the future, a dark day, and you weren't sure what tomorrow would look like.
We are not providing service. We are not writing code. In fact, we are doing the creating the value, and we're delivering the value with the solution. So the solution sometimes is just only instrument, and we need to understand what our clients need actually. So what we need to solve on our hand.
What is one metric you check every single week without fail?
On my side, it shows all the situation in the company, because if we are going up, so it shows that we find the people.
Fill in the sentence for me. A leader under pressure should always... Welcome back to the Growth Under Pressure podcast, sponsored by Adapt CFO. I'm your host, Eric Josovitz, and today we have Aleksandr Sheremeta. He's the co-founder and managing partner of DataForest, a company focused on data engineering, AI implementation, automation, and helping businesses turn data into real results. Alex, great to have you here.
Thank you, Eric. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us more about your backstory and how you went from banking and getting your CFA certification and maybe almost in analytics to building DataForest.
Yeah, this quite a long journey, and many times ago. So when I actually finished my university education, I was applying for the different. I was trying to understand the different direction that I can choose for myself. Actually, I was thinking about going to some big four firms into, I would say, audit direction more. I was considering as well consulting, and I was trying to go into big three, for the McKinsey, BCG, and then the other, But eventually, several Ukrainian banks give me an offer, and I decided actually to go there into risk management. So I will say my career in a banking, it relates to the risk management, mostly quantitative risk management in a different direction, and ultimately I obtained different C roles, and I finished in the Ukrainian National Bank, which is which Ukrainian authority for the managing banking industry. Something more or less like in the Federal Reserves in US. So quite a long journey for around 12 years, coming from the small analyst to C-level in a Ukrainian banking industry. I will say something in a short like that. But there are lots of things which I did, which I would say connected to how we transform, how the banks actually analyzing information. It was around 20 years ago, so the data wasn't so popular and the AI wasn't so popular, and we apply different, I would say, predictive analytics there rather than nowadays Gen AI, etc. But still it was quite interesting to observe how the things are changing in terms of how the decision being taken in a banking industry. We made that. There are lots of interesting projects, and my work was related actually to implementing the IT and the new technology into the risk management. So this is what my career starts with. And ongoingly, I was connected with lots of projects and IT projects, creating the credit bureau in Ukraine overall, working with the processes for lending, creating business model for the bank, some stress testing activities that we implement for the whole market when I were in a national bank. Lots of variety of projects and the type of works that I did in the past in the banks. Eventually, I decided that why I need to spend so much time working on somebody if I can invest this time in working for myself. Yeah,
Mhm.
but eventually I start working even more. So probably when I start doing my entrepreneurship, so I start working even more. And currently, I'm thinking that probably, I mean, definitely this was the right idea, the right decision. But however, my target to decrease the number of hours that I'm working actually not goes well, and I start working more. So
Yeah, it doesn't work how you would expect. Working for yourself, you work a lot more. But it sounds like everything came full circle, getting IT and analytics skills, putting those together. It's like you're able to analyze, data and technology, you're able to put those together to then create and build data for us. And also from the credit bureau side, building different things. So you have that building experience, which as an entrepreneur, you have to have. And the hard work, it sounds like you've put in over the years. And now DataForest is successful. You've built a strong company. And, I think for me, understanding how you got to AI automation, you've primed yourself in all these other roles to get to where you are today. And now being a global leader in AI automation is the goal. And I know you guys are already breaking that surface.
yeah, we are doing a lot actually from one point to survive, but from another as well to grow. Yes, to grow our business. So I would say eventually to deliver value to our clients. To be honest, for us, sometimes it's more interesting from the standpoint of doing business and from the standpoint to deliver value to our clients, because the money question there from some point in time it starts to be as a second one. So the first one is to create a great organization and they create the company, the agency that are delivering value to their clients. So this is actually my goal in terms of what I'm building, what I'm doing in a data forest world. And definitely this comes through the big transformations that is inside. But overall, for the 20, I have around 20 years in the data science. So starting from the banking experience and then to continue with the data forest type of things that we are doing. I mean, we start for last 8 years in the data forest. We start doing data science from the beginning. So it wasn't something that we say for the last couple years, lots of companies added AI
Hmm.
tag and saying that we are AI. So we've been AI from the beginning, from starting 2018. Actually, we start making data science company that are working a lot with the data and empowering companies with this different type of machine learning and AI things. So on the top of that, creating lots of different products for the cloud, for the corporates, and making some automations, applying AI for the different workflows, and adopting that AI to the business processes. So it's, I would say, the advanced way to automate the processes rather than just some business process automation, which can be made with a lot of things. But we start applying, we start inventing AI in terms of practical usage in the different businesses, mostly mid-sized businesses.
Yeah, and you guys are building those custom from scratch and using native apps. You're not using like N8N and all the tools that most people are using out there. You're building the infrastructure from the ground up for these companies, right?
Yes, so this is what is in a nutshell of what we are doing. So I would say we use triangle: from one side data, from another side AI, from another side web development or mobile development. So
Hmm.
packing the data points and the data stuff and AI together under the umbrella of some user interfaces. So these are crucial in terms of understanding what we are doing. And by that, we are creating lots of microservices or platforms or software as a service things or ERP system for our clients. So we are utilizing the pure Python language and some different front end languages to actually to work with the frameworks and other AI capabilities. So we are making custom solution for our clients because we understand that lots of frameworks at the market or lots of tools that they have lots of constraints. So eventually, when you try to build flexible process, and the flexibility is one of our core value inside the company. So it brings to the lots of complexity when you start building something, and then you have this constraint that this particular platform might have. And
Mm.
eventually what you can say to your client, we can do this, it's impossible for us, so we can do everything. Depends on definitely resource and time, but still we need to understand that anything that we might be asked, we can deliver. And for that we need the quite a lot of flexibility on our side, so to create something that our client needs. So eventually we can pack this in different models. So it can be retainers, it can be time and material, it can be fixed project like in a like where we deliver end product. But usually what we are doing is to end the development, IT consultancy, and this works. I mean, for the last several years, so we increased from the 70 employees to 150 employees, quite significant growth, which actually say that the field where we are working are interesting, and people needs our service. So that is why we have this growth. It's not easy, of course. So it's not
Yeah.
something. I mean, I said this for the last 2 years we made this growth, but eventually it's a quite complex. They did this quite, I would say, tough growth.
Those are the extra hours you're putting in as an entrepreneur building this. If you want to build something, you have to hustle. I think back to my wife talking to me about having some balance with the kids, starting a new business or something on the side while still being there for the kids in the afternoon. And I was like, that's not possible. You can't do. There's no work-life balance when you're building. If you want to build something that's successful, of course. Now, if you want to have a little
Definitely.
side project,
Eric,
that's a
you're
different
you're
story.
you're you're totally right for that. It's so painful sometimes for when I'm trying to balance my life in terms of spending time on the family, on some sport activity, on for myself as well. Yeah, you need to have some time for thinking, for we'll say to understanding and making
Yeah.
analysis of what you're doing, so to actually to make a more proper decisions. But still, it's I mean, I'm working a lot, and sometimes working on weekends and at nights, etc. So there's some cost which you have to pay for that. Definitely, it's impossible to do without that. For my
Yeah.
regret, I mean, definitely, even when we're hiring a lot of people, still you need to focus and to pay much time on the managing them, on leading, on the providing vision, etc. So there's still you are being required for doing that in any case. So even though whomever you have in the management, but hopefully for the future we will try to find the balance between the management, between the processes, between our participation on my side and my business partners as well. So this big transformation project that we are running for the last couple of years, and it brings us quite good results. So I mean, I have some some lights in the tunnel for the future.
That's good. Well, you can't get back the missed time. What the time that you put in really is going to be it's valuable and unfortunately it's fleeting. It's you're not going to get that time back. So, it's always important to also have some controls in place and it seems like you do. I know, you're still there for your family. It's clear there's, drawings in the background. Is there a go-to, thing for you? Like for me, between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., no matter what, Monday through Friday, I spend those 2 hours with my family. I have dinner, help get the kids ready for bed, put them to bed. And if I need to work all night, I'll do it. But is there a time when you spend, an hour or two with your family during the weekdays, during your busy time?
This is a good question. I would say I'm trying to apply some flexible approach here, and to spend time as much effective as possible. In the past, I was working a lot on weekends and during the day and during the night. I have some program, not in terms of software, but I mean approach. Yeah, that's
A system.
on a system that on continuously I have to spend less time on work, spend time on a more on the thing at work, on the things that are bringing more results. So ongoingly, I trying to analyze where I spend my time and what meetings I had last week, for example, in order to understand whether those meetings, to be honest, required me there, or
Hmm.
they I can skip actually participating in them, or can I switch somehow the processes. So this first one. So, and here the main idea is actually to decrease number of hours I'm actually spending on the work. So this is first one. The second one, I start from the weekends, of course. So I start decreasing number of time I'm spending on work at weekends. I mean, I do have some strategic thinking at weekends. I can read some reports. I can read something that are not require me to operationally do something. Yeah, so to more thinking process, and this give results. So more or less, I spending whole weekends with my family, with the kids. I do have two kids, boy and girl, 11 and 7 years. So, and I try to spend them with them whole weekends. On during the week, since I have as well lots of some social activities, participating in several business clubs as well. I have some function there. I mean, I'm mentoring some people, etc. So this complex actually to combine with everything. So I need during the day I have some sport activity, so I might go to the gym or to some, I don't know, to spend some on the walking, or I don't know. We have a lot of things in Portugal here, so for the playing squash, paddle,
Yeah.
taking surfing, etc. So I mean, I have a variety of things that I can do. So I try and doing this in the early morning or somewhere during the day, but still be in the focus of what we are doing inside. And I have around hour or so during the evening time to spend on it as well with the kids, so to play something, etc. Most other things, my wife actually closing out, so I mean, which connect to the kids as well. So she helping a lot with, I mean, to me with all of these processes. But I mean, if I have some time in the evening, but you should understand that evening time as well, it's crucial for me because we have a lot of clients in US, and sometimes I need to talk with them as well. So I'm already not taking so many activity within our operational things. So mostly we have delivery managers and different roles that are involved into working in the project. So mostly my work these days is about organizing everything. So to more running the creating process, running the transformational things, to organize everything. But still, you need some time during the day. I have sometimes up till 12 meetings that might come up in a row. So which you have full head after that, and it's quite complex to think after that. But usually it's something like from I would say from 8 to 10 meetings during the day. So I mean the working meetings. So and it means that still I have to do some another work, yeah, to read some documents, to take a decision, to organize some new things, etc. So this all are complex, so I need time for that, and sometimes I'm doing this on a weekly basis, I mean in the evening time. But what I start doing as well is start decreasing, because I mean sometimes I can work till 2 a.m. And nowadays I'm trying as well to decrease this time, so literally at 10 or 11 p.m. I should be in the bed. So this is mandatory for me to stay to go at least at 11, because I'm going to sleep. I mean, it's taking much time on my side actually, to switch to the sleeping question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that deep sleep time, if you're going to sleep at 2, then you're not as refreshed the next day, unfortunately. But
for
I
sure.
get that working with US companies, you do have to extend it a little bit. It's what? It's almost nighttime for you, right? Almost dinner time?
It's well now, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do have around. I mean, depends on the East Coast or West Coast. We have
Right.
somewhere like in 6 7 hours difference in the time zone. So I mean, with the PST, so in the PST zone, I don't remember, somewhere in the 6 o'clock, somewhere 6 o'clock. It's in the PST zone. It's my late time. So I mean, the 6 o'clock on my side, it's early morning in the PST, something like that.
Yeah.
So But I mean, I used to live in that regard and in that way, so it's normal. But it's just the time management. So I have my Whoop, yeah, which is helping me to understand, I mean, my recovery, which helps a lot, to be honest. So I'm trying to as well to manage my schedule based on my recovery as well. So I definitely need to sleep more, and I mean, years are not bringing you freshness. Yeah. So you need to sleep sometimes more to be in the same form. But I'm trying to improve to work with that, to be honest. So I have lots of hypotheses for that. So I'm trying to test something, how it reflect to that, how it worked for me specifically. So for example, currently I'm trying to go before 12 o'clock at bed, and to get up around 7:30. So more
That's
or
good.
less 8 hours somewhere there. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it gives good recovery, and some time as well to spend on some small sports in the morning, on learning languages as well. So I have to learn as well Portugal language, Portuguese. So it's taking some time, and it's good to time in the morning actually to spend on that. But my more cognitive activity there, it's actually shifted to the evening time, to be honest. So I start better thinking after, I would say, 3 p.m. So my brain works better there.
That's good. I mean, that's the time you need to be on point for your US clients. I know
Yeah.
you guys are global. That gives us a ton to think about for where you are today and what you've built. Bring us back to the early days. If you could tell us more about what shaped you early on, was there a person, just going back to your roots, you grew up in Ukraine, right? Was there a person, a lesson, or some experience that you had back then that still shows up in how you lead your team today and how you've been able to build Data Forest and all the other things that you've done along the way?
This is a good question. While you were asking, I can't bring some one person or book or anything else that actually made me in the form that I am. Yeah, so it's a combination. I mean, when I was in a corporate world, so was totally other. Yeah, the things and the soft skills that I need there are totally different. And when we started the company, we had a quite good experience in understanding what is the processes, what is the business model, how it should work it out, what it should be, because we were doing as well corporate lending. So I had a quite good understanding how the businesses works and what needs to be done, etc. So what all the jobs that should be done there. And but when you are in the practical mode, when you under when actually you're playing so many roles, the lots of things are related actually on your, not the background, but what is inside you. So how you feel, how you taking decision, what you're thinking, what you are doing as well. So, and what your beliefs. So this all are crucial for an understanding, and for actually how the business runs, how the business works on your side. Eventually, I would say that I pass through lots of transformation on my side, and some things relates to business partners, some things relates to the family, some things relate to the business clubs, because I'm goingly learning how to transform myself as a first one. Because whenever you're, I mean, it is impossible to grow big business without making lots of transformation inside of you, because we have fears, we have different challenges, we have issues, we have lots of things that are actually stopping us. Because I mean, usually it's about fears, but still you might have some weaknesses, you might have some other things. So you need to work it out, those things, to make progress on, as I said initially, in your relation. So you need to transform yourself before transferring the company. And all these years are actually doing the transformation of myself, and with the impacting on with the learning new things. I mean, some meditation, some self-analysis, understanding. I mean, to make to try to look at the situation from side view. So sometimes on the you need to look in a helicopter view, yeah. But overall, is about the cognitive thing. So about the thinking and understanding of what is going on and the taking proper decision and the lead. I mean, my role is leading people. So I have some beliefs and I'm sharing these beliefs with the people. I mean, when we created our corporate value, which is flexibility, which is result targeting, because we are sourcing companies, we are
Mm.
consulting people. We need to deliver rather to be in the processes. So that is why result orientation, result targeting are core on our side. But this as well flexibility and the communication with the corporation. So it is crucial. I believe that IT projects, if we, I mean, 40% of IT project relates to the communication. So I mean,
Hmm.
you can good results, you can get good delivery only if you are communicating a lot. When you're setting up the expectation, and it's impossible to do without communication and this
Yeah.
cooperation, finding actually the where we can count angles, where we can be flexible on our side or on client side, where we can create this value that's eventually what client expect from our side. So and these materials are quite complex, so in terms of understanding, but they being built like in a puzzle with lots of different small things. And I share this value with the sum of values that actually on my side, on my business partners, and we create it as a like in some sphere, like with all this sense and understanding which we are trying to share and to amplify of our our employees. Of course, it's not works so easily and as I'm saying, but this is what I'm trying to do, to lead the people, to share the energy, and to share the senses that I have. Yeah, so something like that.
That's great. That's great. I love your perspective, also saying that sometimes you need to take a step back or be in the helicopter, looking down at yourself, because a lot of times we are so busy with meetings and full speed, just back to back to back, that we forget about what we're doing. It's like the fly on the in the window. The fly is trying to get out of the window, and at the bottom the window's cracked a little bit. All it has to do, like for us, I can see the window and I can see that all the fly needs to do is just drop down a couple inches and it can fly out. But
Okay.
for the fly, it's so focused on getting through that it's not taking a step back. So I love that perspective, meditating on what's important and seeing it from a holistic point of view. And then secondly, your perspective on growing it's that there wasn't something specific from your childhood that made you who you are. It's the gradual improvement year after year after year to get to where you are, to be a strong leader that people can look up to. And I think that's super important. I personally got an award in middle school. I don't know, 11, 12 years old. That was most improved. I was in band and I started off really bad. I just was, no one wanted to hear that. And the next grade, I focused, I paid attention, and I got that award because I improved. And I think that's kind of, I'm taking that small example to bring us to where we are today, that we should always be improving ourselves. And the person that you were 12 years ago you were not a CEO builder, but you've focused every year to become that.
By the way, what music you were playing?
The saxophone, the alto
Oh
saxophone.
yeah, oh yeah, that's amazing.
I got much better, but it takes effort and it takes hard work,
I mean,
like
it's
anything.
complex. I mean, I mean, this is not something quite easy. The guitar, so you have to be patient while studying this instrument, and playing is not so easy. So this great impact, and the great that you made it.
Yeah, and I got an award for it. And frankly, me personally, this podcast is not about me, it's about you, but I've personally always tried to improve. Like, I was not a great student in middle school. I became a better student in high school, but still was not great. maybe a little bit better in college and exceeding in sports. And then, in my career, I've advanced and gotten better every year. And I think that's
Yep.
one mentality that I always bring with myself is learn something new every day.
Step by
And
step, step by
yeah,
step, of
and if you're
course.
not learning something new every day, then you're in the same seat. And guess what? This podcast is about growing, right? It's growth under pressure. It's not about not growing and not having no pressure.
Of course.
So there are some people out there, and there's people on your team, there's people on my team that like doing what they do every day, and they don't want to grow, and they want to do that, and that's fine. I've become okay with that. But the people that do want to grow, they need to be pressure tested, they need to be put through the fire, and they need to be driven.
But it is a good connection as well with the companies, because of course, I mean, more or less on our side, on the human side, we understand that we need, I mean, of course not all, but majority of people at least thinking about that, probably not doing, but at least thinking that you need to do something more, you need to grow, you need to learn something new, etc. In the company sometimes we are in this safe zone. When something works and good, we are not challenging that. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm seeing lots of CFOs right now that are, I mean, with the new, I would say, with the new technology things, and they are starting to think that probably the process that they were running not so up to date. I mean, we currently have a lot of requests from the clients that from the CFO, the departments that are trying to repack how they get data, whether this data actually accurate, or in the finance you have lots of different sources, and eventually to manage all of the sources in a proper place where a single source of truth will be. So it's a quite complex. So I mean, our clients trying to reconfigure and to repack how the pipelines works in terms of data, and so to build this data lake, rather than some different not connected sources, and then try to manage them on some analytical level, when your finance controllers sitting and trying to bring all of the figures into Excel and to build some report with the dashboard, etc. So many, and this, for the sake of understanding, it's the same for the small companies, for the mid-sized companies, and for corporates as well. So I mean, we are mostly working with the mid-size, but still we have several clients in a I would say in a corporate level, where they have same processes. So they have lots of people that are dealing with the analytics, grabbing all figures together, and from the different sources. For example, that they have 5, 10 platforms, and they catching, downloading reports in a manual form, transforming them, putting. So I mean,
It's wild.
there's many people involved in that, and whenever they have some different subordinates, sub organizations, or receiving this from the files from their system, and as well collect this into some manual, I would say, warehouses. It's not the data warehouses, it's some kind of folders. You have lots of files,
Yeah.
you connect them with the Excel through the some links, etc.
Yep.
And in the 21st century, when we come there in and we see that, sometimes it looks sad, but I do understand why they came there, because it's an industry practice, it's a normal situation, burn so crucial for them over many years. Nowadays, for those clients, we are building some data lakes. We are creating more easy ways of working with the data, medallion architecture, where we have different level of storing data in a proper way. You understand how this data are transforming, how we processing them, etc., and ultimately building dashboards. More classical point of view, still people want to have them, or
Yeah.
AI capabilities that actually give you a possibility to communicate with data, so to more flexible way create the type of things. But some reports, analytics, some correlation to calculate some calculations, etc. But core here is the single source of truth. So whenever, and this problem, which not the problem, but challenge which exists in the market, and when people saying about lots of these new techniques, new approaches like open claw, for example, it's a great approach. I mean, but still, it's only the orchestration for the agents. And what is agents inside? It's just a prompt which communicate with the LLM. Whenever you don't have the proper data, whatever you put in the prompt and send to LLM, you won't get anything. So
Yeah.
shit in, shit out, for my regret.
Yeah.
And this reality that sometimes we're solving for our clients, because we need to proper organize this all as a first step for adopting AI or building any kind of platform. And these changes are this is red line in how we behave, what we are doing as a humans, and how the organization as well, rising, changing, growing in some way, or going down as well. So this reality, some organization won't survive. So
Yeah.
AI paradigm is as well the quite big thing for us as well. So they are changing ourselves, how we dealing with the programming, how we working with the architectural type of things as well. So we running lots of transformation AI transformational program inside the organization. So by inventing some things as well on our side. So because
Which is
we
yeah,
need
which
to
is
we
where it
need to
should
be.
be.
Yeah.
It needs to
But
be in the organization. And that's to, and not to interrupt you, but that's really the where everything comes together. And for, yeah, for me and other finance professionals out there, it's all data and connecting the different systems. But with AI being able to consolidate those different systems, it's super valuable. And while I'll just mention this, while supporting the data integrity, because that's one thing that's always been an issue, is when you're pulling data out of a system, it either comes over wrong, or you have to modify it in some way, or the system that you have the data coming from is not set up for success to begin with. So that's important to make sure you have the right systems from the beginning. We spoke about data on your podcast, and that was a fun time because I don't typically get to dive into data, and that's what you guys talk about. But we could go on and on. I want to shift a little bit to talk about one thing that we always chat about on our podcast, which is the growth under pressure moment. I'd love for you to share with our audience a time in your career, a time, it's probably with DataForest, the real growth under pressure moments when you weren't sure how things would turn out, when you were scared for yourself, for your family, for the future, a dark day, and you weren't sure what tomorrow would look like. If you want to share that with us, that would be incredible.
sure. Actually, in our 8 years history and the story that we are doing with my business partners, and actually with all employees that are backing up us with their work, because we are service company. So whatever we might believe, do, or etc., it's still about work of our people. Yeah. And it's crucial to say that lots of things and lots of actually results that we are receiving are about of them rather than about of us. Definitely we are leading, we creating the flow, the understanding, the running changes, etc. And over this 8 years, we had, we'll say, lots of challenging moments. And we decided at the beginning that we are going to be, you are taking decision what you be, some boutique agency or more wider one. So we decided that we want to be wider one. Then the complex decision starts to be so, because you need to hire more people in some way, so but you need to find the work for them as well. Because it's nobody interested in having just people to pay salaries and not produce anything.
Mhm.
So this is why it was about finding clients. But the clients actually, they don't need just a service. Yeah, they need solution, they need value. So it was many years we spent on understanding that, to be honest, quite easy what I'm said right now. But it's a quite background, quite a fundamental thing, that we are not providing service, we are not writing code. In fact, we are doing we're creating the value and we're delivering the value with the solution. So the solution sometimes is just only instrument, and we need to understand what our clients need actually. So what we need to solve on our hand, and to find out this particular quite easy things, it takes so much time actually on our side, and to understand how to properly communicate these values and the things what we are doing on our side. We are selling online, so we are communicating online. We are fully remote organization. We have our office, but in Kiev, still in Kiev, we have office, but it's quite small one, and I would say just only several people visiting it. So more or less 150 employees are fully remote, and we need to create the processes inside the organization, not only the process for development, but processes that actually glue, that are actually connect all of the people inside one. I mean, of course, the project itself connects, but still we're trying, to build the organization rather than project. Yeah, so that is why we
Hmm.
need to find a way how to deal with the people, how to share knowledge, how to actually make work fun, not only like, to work like for the work. Yeah, to receive money. So the work should bring you happiness, some self performance, and etc. So, and this was as well quite complex to create the small initiative inside the organization, how to put people together, because some days we had around 50 events not connected to the project. So 50 events inside the organization per month for just to making team building. It's not like in a
Hmm.
big word team building, but it's small actions. So some courses, some programs, some online yoga lessons,
Hmm.
reading club. We have online. We have some specific chat which automatically selects people based on the schedules, and create them list of questions to discuss about. So this 20 minutes speech, but people might share the things that are living in. Lots of people in different territories. So it is as well, to create this type of system is a core that actually glue up everything inside. So the other cases where war began, and lots. I mean, we have to ensure the ongoing business activity, because we had lots of clients and we have to deliver them, because they don't care about this. I mean, for all
Yeah.
respect, but they don't care. We commit to them to deliver something, to deliver work, to deliver value, to create the project. That they have own clients, some of them startups, some of them enterprises, which big programs connected to what we did. And this all what been crucial for us to pass through. And I can say that we passed this period of time, and it was it was not easy. And no, I mean, we keep all of our clients, so actually eventually, so which is as well good results for us. As well, we had in our history, we had the situation when during some short period of time, something like 30% of our revenue just washed it out because of something happened for the different clients. So I mean, we
Hmm.
have some diversification, of course, and some level of concentration, but still it was several clients that just something happened on their side, and they had to close the activity with us due to some different things. So some were some were crisis, some were just we finished project. In some case, they just switched the direction, for example, etc. So this normal situation, nothing that we did wrong, but still it's about having for the let's say 2 months, we lost 30% of revenue. To lose 30% of revenue is not easy stuff to come through.
No,
So and
not at
yeah,
all.
so each day I receiving from the HR department information about that somebody wanna raise in the salary, somebody wanna leave, somebody has health issues, somebody has lots of
Yeah.
things. And keeping this all, it is as well some challenge that we have on our side, and we're creating lots of approaches actually to overcome this situation, because this normal situation for any company. But to find a way how to deal with that is actually the core in our business activity. So you need to create a system that will work and will manage all of such cases.
Yeah, and growing under pressure for a service-based company is very real. It's not like a one, for a product, I think there's like a couple times where there's some pivotal moments that will take you from here to there. Service is like it's a cycle. It's like you hit the moment, then you come back to it. Then you hit it. It's like it's an everyday, whether it's
It's
people
like a
or
running
clients.
bicycle.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to wrap up. I feel that as a leader, you show up for your team and your clients while under pressure. Well, you just continue to show up, and the consistency is what has allowed you to build. And I have a ton more questions that we'll have to save for our next podcast. But I want to close quickly with a rapid fire that we always do. What is one metric you check every single week without fail?
I have my preferable metric, which is number of employees. On my side, it shows all the situation in the company, because if we are going up, so it shows that we find the people, we find the projects, and everything runs smoothly. So whenever we have decrease, something goes wrong. Either we can't find people, or somebody just finding other jobs, or we can't, or we have some issues with the current clients. So
Yeah.
this shows me overall the situation. So on a daily basis, I would say sometimes a couple times per week, I checking what numbers we have. Easily we have a HRM system, which is one click, where I see
Yeah.
overall situation with all people inside. So
Okay.
this crucial metric for me.
That's a good one. All right. Do you have a book or a podcast that you'd recommend to other leaders out there?
Definitely I recommend your podcast. So but in the market, there are so many things which is quite interesting. So just try to find somebody or something that you reflect, and which helps you actually to move on.
Perfect. Well, I was sold on the shout out to growth under pressure. So I appreciate that. All right. Last question. Fill in this sentence for me. A leader under pressure should always
Focus.
focus. Incredible. Alex, it was a pleasure. We've talked offline and we're going to continue the conversation. I want to run it back another time, but really appreciate you joining me today on the podcast.
Thank you, Eric, for this great time.
All right, guys. Till next time. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Growth Under Pressure. I'm your host, Eric Josovitz, and I hope today's conversation gave you practical insights you can apply to your own growth journey. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another founder, operator, or leader who'd find it valuable. We publish new episodes every other Thursday featuring conversations with people that are building, scaling, and leading under pressure. And let me know in the comments what stood out most from today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pushing, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Growth Under Pressure.